Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Layla, and for today's video, I'm going to be going over my money goals and budget for February 2024. Similar to January, I don't really have any specific financial goals that I am going after. It's really just saving as much as I can. So that itself is the goal. I don't really have a number in mind. Like, I guess I could aim for maybe $2,500 to $3,000 saved in the month, and this is on top of investing in my 401k. But yeah, I really don't know, and just overall, as long as I'm saving as much as possible, then that's good. The other thing I've really been working on is specific things for my business, or that's what I started in January anyway. There were like 3 main focus areas that I jotted down for January, and I wanted to make sure I went through each of those so that I can grow my business and ultimately earn more income from it so I can save more money and then take my business full time eventually. I want to continue doing that every single month. I haven't really decided yet what my focus for February is yet, and it's not something, even if I did know what it was, I probably wouldn't talk about it much just because it's stuff that goes on in the background. And I have had a lot of people request that I talk about business stuff or how I do this and do that, but that's not really what this channel focuses on, and not something that I want to talk about too much just because it's, this is more so to document my finances, and I'm no expert in business. I've learned a lot, that's for sure, but probably not going to go into too great of detail. But I guess that's kind of my second goal, is to continue focusing on specific things to get done in the month for my business so that I can grow and earn more money. So that's that. So now we're going to talk about my budget. But before we get to that, I do want to give a quick thank you to Mint Mobile for partnering with me for this video. If you've been looking at your expensive phone plan and thinking of making the switch to Mint Mobile, now is a great time to do so because they do have a promo going through the end of January. If you're looking for unlimited talk and text, mobile hotspot, and high-quality data speed coverage and access to 5G, then Mint Mobile is a good plan for you, and you can get it for as low as $15 per month. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network, and they sell direct to you online, meaning they cut out the salespeople and the retail stores, so we're able to save money. Making the switch is also super easy. Visit mintmobile.com/debtoverit. Enter in a little bit of information, determine if your phone is eligible for an eSIM card, and if it is, you can set things up immediately right from the comfort of your home. And don't worry, if your phone is not eSIM compatible, they will ship you the SIM card. You'll get it in a couple of days at no extra cost to you, and then you can still set everything up in just a few minutes from the comfort of your home. I made the switch over a year ago. I still to this day use Mint Mobile, and I am so glad to be saving on my phone plan. And it has allowed me to decrease my phone bill so that I can instead put that toward my other financial goals. So if you're interested in making the switch and saving money, visit mintmobile.com/debtoverit. That's also linked down below in my description box. And now through the end of January, new customers can get Mint Mobile for $15 per month for 3 months, including the unlimited plan, which is usually $30 per month. Thank you again to Mint Mobile for partnering with me for this video, and now we can get to my budget. We're going to hop to my spreadsheet, but I do want to say that because of some business decisions that I made in January, things going forward are going to be a little bit different. And y'all know that for this year, like starting in January, I wanted to start budgeting my business income to pay for my everyday expenses. And then anything from my full-time job, I would be basically putting to savings and investing. So in January, I had already changed my budget format up, and you can see that video for that example. But now things are, again, different because in January I filed as an LLC. And then I'm going to be filing as an S Corp. So without getting into the nitty gritty of it all, basically, I am now an employer as well as an employee at my company. So my LLC is not just specific to this finance content just because I have multiple things going on. So I put it under one common name, one LLC. And since I'll be filing as an S Corp, I do have to set up payroll for myself. So I have set that up, and I will be paying myself a salary every single month. And now everything is very separate, I guess. Like it's all going to, I set up a business bank account, business credit card, all these different things. And I'll talk about that more probably in like my sabbatical update. But it'll kind of make sense when you see my spreadsheet and I go through everything, how I am setting this up, because I have to have my business revenue and then pay myself. And then from that, the money that I am paying myself, I will budget that out. So let's go to my spreadsheet. Okay, in this top left-hand corner, this is specific to my business. So as you can see, it says gross business revenue. So this is everything that is coming in. YouTube ad revenue, coaching, Etsy sales, etc. So for February, I don't know exactly what to expect yet. This is also the first month where everything is like officially going to be like this. So yeah, we'll just kind of see what happens. But first, I'm expecting at least $3,000 in gross business revenue. And then of course, if it's more, it will, I'll have more money to work with. But I've decided that if it's more than that, I am still gonna have like this set payroll basically. And there will be times I can give myself like overtime and pay myself more. But I also want a pretty large cushion in my business bank account just because it's kind of intimidating. Like you have to have this payroll set up and pay taxes on that. And there's just like a lot of stuff that goes on in the background. And I just want to be careful and make sure I have enough in there so that I can run payroll 2 times a month. And maybe in a couple of months, I don't even make $3,000 in the month. Like it's just $2,000 from my business. But as long as I have that cushion in my account, then I can still pay myself the same amount. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like having an emergency fund for your business, like reserve funds, basically. So that's what this rollover business revenue is, and that's coming from January. So I am going to pay myself a little bit from the stuff that I earned in January, and then I'm going to roll it over into February, and that should be at least $2,000. I don't know if it might be a little bit more. I think it will be a little bit more, but I will update this when I actually get to February and see what that's looking like. So altogether, I'll have $5,000 in my business checking account, right? And then of course I do have expenses as my business. First up would be payroll. So this is payroll going to myself, and I've decided on $3,500 per month. So that's gonna come out of these funds. After that, business expenses. I think for February it will be pretty low, so I'm just putting $200. It might be even lower than this. It also depends, like there's something else I am interested in starting and I might buy some supplies for it. So if it's more, then that's fine. After that would be taxes, which I actually didn't put anything here just because I don't know. So when I pay myself, I, of course, as the employee am paying taxes like Social Security and Medicare tax and all that, but also as the employer, I pay taxes. So I think it'll be like $500 per month, but I don't know. I just didn't put it for now just because, there's a cushion there and no matter what, I should be okay. So I'll figure that out once the time comes. I had no clue what to put for that. So that's it for now. $3,700 in payroll and expenses. And then I should have some left over even if I am paying taxes for payroll. And then below this, so like I said, this is for my business, but below that, this is for me as an employee of my business. So business payroll, that's what I am paying myself, $3,500. Extra income, I did just put this at $100 for now because I don't like credit card cash back and those things, it might be a little bit more. I don't think I'll be pulling from any sinking funds, so altogether I'll be working with $3,600 of income as an employee of my business. And like I decided on at the beginning of the year, I really want to use these funds to pay for my everyday living expenses so that when I do quit my job, well, this is kind of like practice runs for when I quit my job. Obviously, you'll see as I go through everything, like there's not enough money there for me to do everything I would need to, because you'll see that everything listed here, these are like my day-to-day expenses. And then on top of that, I would need to pay for health insurance and ideally be investing as well. But I don't really have room for that yet. But when the time comes, we'll figure it out. The other thing too is that since I'm now an employer, I can create like a 401k and give myself a match. And that's not going to be something I'm going to do right now. But I could do a 401k or an IRA. And it's just really cool because I can put money in as an employee, as if I'm working a W-2 job, because that's what it's like. And then since I'm the employer as well, I can match those funds, whatever I want to, whatever I can afford. But the time will come for that. For now, we're just keeping it simple, like what you're seeing here. These are my gross earnings. So the first expense that you're going to see here would be taxes. I don't know about this one. I think it's going to be about around 500, but it's going to already be accounted for, which is really cool. So now I don't really have to set money aside. Like, since I am the employee, it's taking taxes out. Social Security tax, state taxes, federal taxes, all that. It's pretty cool how it's just going to be done for me and I don't have to worry too much about it. Next would be donate, and I'm budgeting 100, could be more. House/utilities, I'm expecting $1,177 for the month. Could be, it might be a little bit lower. This is higher though compared to the last few months, because our electricity bill with the heat on and our little space heaters that we use in our offices, our bill was like 100% higher than what we paid in the last couple of months. So yeah, it gets really cold if there's no heat on, and it's been quite cold for Georgia. Like over this past weekend, I think it was like 15 degrees as the low, and that's pretty cold for us. Then we have household, budgeting 100 there. After that would be food stuff. So groceries, still budgeting 400. Food out, 75. Gas for my car, I think about 60 should be good. Health and beauty, 200. I do have a few doctor's appointments, but those are usually just my copay, so like $20 each. I know I'm taking a whole day off of work because I have 3 doctor's appointments, just basically back to back. So that should be a fun day, but they're all like in the same area. But that right there is like $60. And then if I need any sort of supplements and stuff. Dogs, $162.01. That money goes to my sister. Netflix, $23.48. Gym, $39.99. Personal spending, I'm budgeting at $150 this month, and then travel is the last thing here, and I am budgeting $100. I mentioned this in my December finance update, but my sister and we purchased concert tickets and we're going to see our favorite artist, but not in Georgia. He's not performing here in Atlanta. So we're going to a nearby state, taking a little road trip, and we're going to get an Airbnb for the night. So I'm expecting to book that like as soon as possible. Probably on like February 1st, we'll book that because honestly, we probably should book it now, but wanted to wait for a new month. And I think it'll cost even less than 100, considering we'll probably be splitting it, and just one night shouldn't be too bad. So altogether, spending $3,087 or so, and you can see that I have over $500 of a cushion here, and I haven't really decided yet what. The other thing too is, like, if I make more money in February, I could pay myself more, but I do want to have like those business reserves. And I think that's a smart idea in case there's a month in the future that I'm not earning as much. I could make more from extra income, so I might have more to work with. And if there's anything left over, I don't really know yet what I want to do with it. Like, I think I'll just put it to savings, whichever sinking fund goal I'm working on or focused on at the moment. But I haven't decided yet either. Like, I'll see what happens for February. And now all that's left is this right hand section, and I do still have my full-time job, and y'all know that for my full-time job I do want to primarily save that money, and that's what I'm trying to do. So my work income, my gross work income, is $5,880. I don't think I'll be pulling anything from my sinking funds this month, so I left that blank. And now we can go through my expenses that I am planning to pay for with my work income. 401k. Since I'm listing my gross earnings here, I do have to list everything that comes out, all of my deductions. So since I've received a paycheck in January, I know that this is looking like $1,881.60 per month to my 401k, which is a lot of money. Taxes, $899.44, which is pretty good, not too high. And then insurance, which I forgot to account for in January, that's going to be $117.22. This is medical insurance, vision, and dental. Primarily medical insurance, though. And then we have all my sinking funds. So gift sinking fund will still be $75. Car/car maintenance will still be, that's $350 now. That's right. I bumped it up in January, $350. Car insurance sinking fund will still be $115. Beauty, not doing anything because I finished that in January. Travel, not doing anything because that's not the focus this month. We'll move to that probably next month or for March. Emergency fund, also not the focus, so that's going to be $0. The focus is my business sinking fund. So I'm going to be aiming for $2,000 here. I should be able to do that just based off of these numbers. You can see I still have a $441 cushion, and if there is anything extra, then I'll probably just keep on adding to my business sinking fund. The goal there is $4,000, and I don't know what I'll end up with for the end of January, like how much I'll actually have saved there. But it might be enough that if I do put $2,000 in February, I could then move on to my next sinking fund goal, which is probably travel. Especially if I do just like if I have money left over from my Salesforce full-time job, I can put that to my sinking funds. And then also if I have money from my business W-2 job, that can all go to my savings. Overall, I'm pretty confident it'll just be a strong month. And I'm really excited to have things work out like this. Like I think it's awesome to be an employer and an employee, and there's just a lot of benefits to this. I'll probably talk about why I decided to do this and go into more detail of how this is going to save me money as the months pass, just because I don't know yet, you know, like I know why I did it and such, but I'm really not going to see any major differences or benefits until like next year when I file taxes or when I start earning more money for my business. And I honestly, I do expect to earn more money. At first, when I made this decision, I was like, is this stupid of me to do this? Because I don't make, at the end of the day, you know, as a business, I don't make that much money. So I felt like I started limiting myself by thinking these negative thoughts like, oh, what if I don't increase my income? But then I was like, what do you mean? Like, you're going to, you know, like, you're just working on this part-time right now. Eventually this is going to be full-time, and I want to treat it that way. I want to, because instead of me being a full-time employee at my current full-time job, I'm going to be a full-time employee at my business, and that is just, it's just really cool. So it's been fun. It's been tough, and I'll talk about that more in a different video, but just a lot to learn and work through, but it has been a great learning experience, and I think it's kind of fun to set up my budget this way. So that's what things are looking like for February 2024, which is crazy because I feel like we just started the year, but already planning for month number 2 of the new year. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Otherwise, please feel free to share what your financial goals are for February or any updates that you would like to share about your finances, what you're looking forward to, anything like that. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.